Hi, so today we're going to talk about how to do multiplication by hand, no calculator, using the grid method. Oops. So let's say you have a sum to do like this. And a lot of people can find that quite hard to do using the column method, straight up and down lines, but some people find the grid method easier. So I'm going to show you that today. So we start by drawing a little grid. You don't have to use a ruler. You don't really want to spend too much time using the ruler and making it pretty. It's more important that you get it done. So we'll start with line across the top. I'm going to do double lines just because it'll look better, even after I said don't waste time making it look better. There we go anyway. Okay, I'm going to put my times symbol in that corner so I remember what I'm doing. When we look at 80, let's say, you can break that down into tens and units. The units are easy, that's 0, right? For the 80, that's not too bad either. In this case, it's 8080. If it was 82, for example, the units would be 2 and the tens would be 80. This is what I do here, and then units. Draw a line down. We break down the 32 the same way. Tens, units. Units are 2, tens are 30. I like to start with the higher number, so 30, and we have a 2. And we draw a line across, whoops. Now we have our grid. So we multiply, you look at a box and you look at what your base numbers are from that box. From here, it is the 80 and the 30, so we're multiplying 80 and 30 together. You've got 2 zeros, so you put those down first, 0 and 0. Now you have 8 times 3 or 3 times 8, whichever way you think is easier to remember it. Now, if you have trouble with your times tables, I find it easier to work from the 5s or the 10s. So 8 is close enough to 10, so 10 times 3 is 30. We go back 3, 10 times 9 is 27, and you go back another 3. 8 times 3 is 24. So that much is 2004. Let's look at this box. So we go back to our base numbers. We've got 2, we've got 80. We've got 1 0, so we put that down. That 0 is taken care of. 2 times 8 is 16. We have 160. Let's go over here. This is a trick, because you might think, I've got a 0, I've got a 0. I must put down 2 zeros. Don't do that. You have no or 0 30s, therefore 0. Next box. We have 0 and 2. You have no or 0 2s, so it's another 0. So these are our numbers that we're working with. You could draw a line and add it up down here, but I'm going to put it to the side for tidiness, and also because if you had numbers in this box, it would be tidier to put it over here on the side. So we've got 2000, we have, 2400 and 160. Always put in your sign. 0 and 0 is 0, 6 and 0 is 6, 1 and 4 is 5, comma, 2 and nothing is 2. Your answer is 2560. If you check that on the calculator, it will come out exactly the same. Let's show you another one. Let's say, here we go, you wanted to do 48 times 68. There we go. Again, we're going to draw our grid. Whoops. There we go. And down. We're doing times, just to remind ourselves. Now we need to break it down. So if you take 40 and 8, again we've got the tens, we've got units. What units do we have? We have 8. What tens do we have? We have 40 of them. If you add that up, 40 and 8, it comes to 48. Let's do the same over here. Units, tens. Units is 8, tens are 60. Doesn't matter which side you put, whether you put the 40 and 8 down here or the 40 and 8 up there, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to put it up here, 8, and then 60 and 8 can go here, and we draw in the rest of our boxes. Again, you can do the boxes freehand. I'm just making it nice. All right, so let's start in this corner again. You have 2 zeros, so I will always put those down first. And then you have 4 times 6. If you said 4 times 5, that is 20. 4 times 6 is 24. Okay, let's try this box. You want to go, this number is 8 times this number 40. You have a 0, we put that down. 4 times 8 is 32. 4 times 10 is 40, 4 times 9 is 36, 4 times 8 is 32. There we go. And then we go to this box. So down 1 and across is 60 times 8. We have a 0, put that down first. 6 times 8. Now what could 6 times 8 be? 5 times 8 is 40, so another 8 onto that must be 48. And here we go again. So down to here, across to the other 8. We've got 8 times 8. It would be worth learning the square numbers when you have 5 times 5, 6 times 6. It's also worth learning those square numbers. So 8 times 8 is 64. Okay, so we're this far. We need to add them up. So for tidiness, I write them all over to to the side again. Make sure you are writing the numbers as you have them here. And we put in our sign for what we're doing. So all zeros and a 4 is 4. 0 we don't care about. 2 and 8 is 10, and another 6 is 16. So the 6 goes down here, and we carry that 10 into the next column, or the 1. We could say 3 and 1 is 4, then we would have 3 4s, which is 12. So the 2 goes down here, carry a 1. 2 and 1 is 3, and I've gone wrong somewhere. Interesting. Well, first thing I'm going to do is get the calculator. In the exam you won't have the option to do the calculator, but we want to see where we have gone wrong. That's correct. Am I wrong? Let's check it on the calculator altogether. So 48, not sure if you can see that, but hopefully, times 68. Nope, not wrong, never mind. That'll happen. Sometimes you'll need to check. I would recommend while you're practicing to check that you're getting it correct. There we go. So that is how you multiply 48 times 68. Let's try a harder one. Let's try 302 times 18. That's a bit more interesting. So again, let's start over here. This side is a little bit easier to work with. We're going to break it down. Tens and units. So this gives us units are 8 again. I seem to like 8 today. And 10. 10 and 8 is 18. That works. So over here we have units, tens, hundreds. And this gives us, we have to do 3 lines this time, 2 for the units, nothing in the tens, and then 300. And we draw out our grid again. Okay, put our time sign so we remember what we're up to. We will put our 18 across the top, 10 and 8, and we'll put these down the side. 300. We can just drop this realistically. It's 0, the whole line will come out as 0. But I will put it in at the moment just so you can see what it looks like. And then we finish our grid. Here we are. So let's start at the top. We have a lot of zeros here. You have 3 zeros, so we put those down first. And then you have 3 times 1 is 3. If we go here, 8 times 300, you have 2 zeros to work with. And then you have 3 times 8 is 24. Normal enough. Now, if we go to this line, like I said, 0 tens are 0. 0 means none. So no tens are none. No 8s are nothing. 0. Down here then, next box, 10 times 2. go ahead the normal way that I've been doing so far. Zeros down first. 1 times 2 is 2. Over here, 8 times 2 is 16. And we will add it up on the side as we've been doing. 3,000. I like to put the comma in there. It makes it easier to read if you haven't seen it before. That is the only reason that it's in there, just to make it easier to read. 20 and 16. I'll put my commas in here as well. Okay, going down that line, 6. 2 and 1 is 3. 4 and 0 is 4. 2 and 3 is 5. So there you have your answer. So this method is a lot easier for people to use quite often. I'm going to give you a few questions that you can practice yourself. So these are questions for you to practice yourself. I would say pause now, because in just a minute, less than a minute, I'm going to start going through them and I'm going to answer them for you as well. So you can compare what you have done to what I've done. I will put up the answers first, and if you've got it right, you can speed through to the next one. And if not, you can look at what we're doing and see, maybe did you make a mistake somewhere? And then you'd understand where it came from. So let's start with the first one. So our first question was 72 times 63. The answer is 4,536. If you got that, well done. If not, keep watching and you'll see what we did. So we're going to break this down again, tens and units, as we've been doing. So units are 3, tens are 60. And over here we've got tens, units. Units are 2, tens are 70. And we draw our grid. As usual, always put down your sign. Whatever you're up to, put down your sign. Let's start left to right. 70 and 2, and then 60 and 3. And then finish your grid. And here we go. So you have 2 zeros, and then you have 6 times 7. 6 times 7 is 42. Let's go down here. 3 times 70. You have a 0. We put that down first. 3 times 7, 210. Let's go over here. 2 times 60. You've got a 0 there, so then we've got 2 times 6. That's 12. So you have 120. Down here, 2 times 3 is 6. Looks good so far. Let's add them up. I hope that scratching noise from the pen is okay. 6. 1 and 2 is 3. 2 and 2 is 4, and 1 is 5. We've got a 4. So that's how we got that answer. If you didn't get it, take a look, see where the mistake was, try again without looking at this, and see if you get it now. Okay? Let's try the next one. The next one was 36 times 52. And the answer was 1,872. So let's see how we got on. Tens and units as usual. So the units are 6, the tens are 30. 30 and 6 is 36. Units for 52, the units are 2, the tens are 50. 50 and 2 is 52. Do our grid. Why I'm drawing the double line, in case I didn't say it earlier, is just to make it a little clearer where our base numbers are and where our answers are when we multiply. So let's go across the top again. 30 and 6, and then 50 and 2. All right, let's start in this corner. So you have 2 zeros, then 3 times 5 is 15. Down here you have 1 0, and then 2 times 3 is 6. Let's go over here. 2 times 6 is 12, and then here we've got 6 times 50, we've got that 0, and then 6 times 5 is 300. And let's add it up on the side. All right, so starting here, we've got a 2, then we've got 6 and 1 is 7. We're correct so far. 5 and 3 is 8, and then 1. So we have the correct answer. If you didn't get it, have a quick look and see if you can spot the mistake. If you did, well done. Let's do the last one. So the last one was 612 times 35. Your answer was 21,420. So we break it down. Units, tens, hundreds. Units and tens. Start over here. Units are 5, tens are 30. 30 and 5 is 35. Over here, units are 2. We have 1 10. We have 6 hundredths. That gives us 612. Start our grid. Giving plenty of space. So I'll take the 30 and 5 across the top, and I will put the 612 at the side. There we go, grid is finished. So let's start over here. We have 3 zeros, 1, 2, 3 zeros. And that leaves us with 3 times 6. 3 times 6 is 18, so that's 18,000. Let's go down one. We have 2 zeros. And 1 times 3 is 300. Then we're left with 30 times 2. We've got 1 0 there, and then we've got 2 times 3 is 6. Let's pop over here then to this column. So we've got 600 times 5. You have 2 zeros. Put those down first. Then you've got 6 times 5 is 30. 3,000. Don't get mixed up between your hundreds and thousands. Right, next box. 5 times 10 is 50. Or, if you want to see it, put down your 0, and then you've got 1 times 5, 50. 2 times 5 is 10. Now again, in this box, you might find it easier to put another line, put your addition sign down here, and add up in columns, and then add up your 2 answers. Do not forget to add up your 2 answers. That's a common mistake I see people making. It can be safer to write it all out on the side. Make sure you don't miss anything. So we needed 6 answers. Do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Right. That's a 0, easy enough. 6 and 5 is 11, and another one is 12. Put the 2 down, carry the 1 into the next column. 3 and 1 is 4. Nothing to carry. 8 and 3 is 11. Put the 1 down for the units, carry another 1. 1 and 1 is 2. 21,420. So that's good. If you again check your answers, see if there's anything else that you need to do, practice again if you need to. You can just come up with your own questions to practice on. Pick any 2 numbers to practice on, and this method will work. Okay? I would recommend practicing a lot if you're not familiar with it, to get used to it until you can do it almost without thinking. It's very important. It will be useful in your exam. Okay, thanks for watching.